Hi, today is November 22nd, 2025, and on October 24, I had rotator cuff surgery on my right shoulder. Um, I watched YouTube like I'm probably sure everybody has, but I thought I would kind of share with you some updated stuff and some of the tricks that I've learned and used while I was going through this so far 4-week recovery. Um, my doctor has me on a hopefully 6-week in the sling type of thing. So I have 2 weeks to go, and I am allowed occasionally to sit without it, which I'm doing right now. First thing, what to expect pain-wise. I'm not going to lie, first week is kind of rough. When I say rough, there are times that it seems pretty painful, but the narcotics that they give you along with the over-the-counter medications, which for me was acetaminophen and Tylenol, and that was, I think, every 4 hours I was taking a different type of, like, every 4 hours acetaminophen, 4 hours after that Tylenol, 4 hours after that back to the acetaminophen, and I was taking oxycodone 5 milligram every 6 hours. So I had somebody taking care of that for me so that I didn't have to worry about did I take something, didn't I take something, and try to write it down. I had my right shoulder done. I'm very right-handed, so writing with my left hand was nearly impossible. Um, the nerve block lasted for me. I had surgery at 7:30 in the morning on Friday, and right around midnight, after I had gone to bed on Saturday, I woke up in excruciating pain. The nerve block had finally worn off, and I had taken 12 hours earlier. I'd taken my first and my second oxycodone in anticipation of that wearing off, but it did not do any good. We ended up, I wanted to go to the hospital, the emergency room, and just have them shoot me or something. But called the after-hour service. They told me to take, because the length of time it had been since I had last taken my oxycodone, to go ahead and take 10 milligram right now. And they were going to adjust the prescription to 10 milligram every 6 hours. And I'm not going to lie, that really helped. Um, it not only did it knock the pain down to a very, very tolerable pain level, but it also knocks you out. I mean, for 3 days, I basically was a zombie. I'd wake up, somebody would feed me, somebody would give me something to drink, I'd watch some TV, I'd close my eyes for a second, and next thing, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours had gone by. And that's pretty much how I slept for the first 3 days. And then I wanted to get from 3 milligram to 10 milligram, from 10 milligram to 5 milligram as quickly as possible. So on Tuesday of that week, I switched down to 5 milligram, and it worked. I mean, yeah, the first few days, the pain right here in the shoulder bone where they put those anchors was pretty intense. So that's where the majority of the pain was. And as long as you keep up on the medication, it's really tolerable. But you still feel bad because you're not moving around a lot. You're sitting. You know, it's just not a fun period of time. But it wasn't horribly bad. As long as you keep up on the medication, don't chase it. Just stay ahead of it. And then on Saturday, I decided to switch to every 8 hours on the oxycodone, and I ended up going 11 hours before I needed it, and you'll start to feel when you need it. And so I got on it very quickly, and then the next day I went 22 hours between sessions, and then weaned myself off of it pretty much. And got a little aggressive, got off of the over-the-counter stuff within a day or two after that, and it was a huge mistake. The over-the-counter stuff was doing a great job in the pain management, and I'll tell you, I have pretty good pain tolerance. So you might have a completely different experience, but you know, somewhere along the line as an athlete, I ended up having some reasonably good pain tolerance, but you might stay on the oxycodone a little bit longer, and that's okay. Whatever you can do to maintain your comfort level. They're not going to give you too much oxycodone. You're not going to get hooked on it, so you don't have to worry about that. I did at one point get off of the over-the-counter meds too quickly, and that was a bad idea because then I had to take an oxycodone to get caught back up in the pain, and then started with the whole regimen of over-the-counter, and did that for about another week, and then have been since backing off. And today, yesterday, I'm taking maybe one over-the-counter medication somewhere late in the afternoon. And if I come home from physical therapy, which I've been going to now, I think 3 sessions, I'm not sure. Oh, actually 5 sessions. And sometimes that can be a little bit sore, but it's not really bad. But one of them, I came home and said, I'm going to take some ibuprofen and then ice the shoulder too. But after the 3rd week, the doctor even told me, goes, you don't need to be doing a whole lot of ice anymore. The swelling is all down and everything. And you'll notice in your sling when you first get home that your sling is like, it's filled up. Your arm is really swollen, I guess because you're sitting there and the blood is running down. But after a couple of weeks, you'll notice you have a lot of freedom in that sling, and that's when you know that the swelling is really pretty much gone. But ice machine, whatever they have that they can provide for you to circulate cold water, it's worth the money. Go ahead and get it. I did, and I swear by it. I mean, you get that on it, you Velcro it in place, and you just sit there and let that cold get in there and really numb everything. So, and there's instructions on all that, on how to use it. One of the things that I found was very useful in showering was this little guy right here, because you can use it underneath your arm like this. I have to understand, I'm right-handed, and that arm, especially at the beginning, you're not moving it very much in the shower. It feels good sometimes to just let it go straight down beside your leg, just to get that elbow worked out. But I got this on Amazon. It's a great tool. I would recommend it. You can use it everywhere you want, where your back, but I bought specifically for underneath this arm. So Amazon, it's a great little tool, not very expensive. As you're going through sleeping, the first few days, yes, I was sleeping in a recliner. And again, I think I mentioned it before, when you're on oxycodone, whether it's 10 or 5, you're coming, you're going, especially on the 10, you close your eyes, you've been gone for 2-3 hours, but that's pretty much how you sleep, because it's uncomfortable. Your arm will ache a little bit, and everyone's waking you up every 4 hours anyhow to take medication. And then, they're trying to keep you hydrated, and then you got to pee. So, don't expect a whole lot of sleep those first few days. I mean, you're just not going to get really great sleep. I think it was almost 10 days before I tried sleeping in my bed. I had a wedge that I would lay on, and I found it to be very uncomfortable. I had thankfully purchased something like this, so it is a curved deal, and the idea behind that is you want to be able to lay your shoulder on this and then your arm alongside you. Even though you're in a sling, what happens is you're laying on your back, and because this is raised up off the mattress by this amount, your shoulder hits this and it doesn't fall backwards. And so that's the biggest thing when you're laying in a bed. Your shoulder wants to go back and touch the mattress, and that just puts too much pressure on these anchor points in here. So I still today, if I'm not using that, and this is 4 weeks out, I wake up and I'm up for 2 or 3 hours until it settles back down. So go ahead and buy something like that. I got that on Amazon. It comes with a wedge. It Velcros on the wedge with these little tabs here. I don't know what you'd use it for, but if this isn't comfortable in terms of the, let's say you're bigger chested guy, because it's a wedge, you can kind of wedge that in there and maybe put that in underneath the wedge and get the right height for your shoulder. So it's a real useful tool. Bought it on Amazon. As far as the next thing that I did, kind of an expensive thing, but I am very right-handed. I bought prior to surgery, I bought a handheld bidet and just didn't like it. And I struggled trying to do what you need to do left-handed. I was uncomfortable with it. Thankfully, we're in a position where I could spend a little bit of money. Did end up getting a it's called a Toto, Toto, commode with a built-in bidet, and it's a lifesaver. I love it. I'll probably continue to use it well after surgery. So, you know, over $1,000 installed, but to me, it was worth every penny that I spent. Taking a shower, we talked about the tool. Eventually, you want to become independent, and so what I ended up doing was when I decided I was going to shower myself, and I had everything laid out and thought about. I had a little stool that I put my feet up that I could dry my legs and so forth, but I couldn't figure out how to do my back. And I ended up putting a towel on one of the spare bedrooms right off the bathroom, and went in and laid on it like a dog on his back in the summertime, and just that's how I dry my back now. And you can then grab a corner and get up underneath your arm to dry underneath your arm. So there's another little tip that I learned. Try to think if there's anything else that I could be sharing with you. The physical therapy. At the beginning, it's nothing more than getting your shoulder moving, so nothing real painful the first 2 or 3 times that you're in there. And then the one that starts to get you is where they want you to be able to get your arm to come out like this while you're laying on your back. That's where this comes in handy again, or anything that you can get, towels or whatever, to prop up underneath your shoulder and down along your arm, but primarily underneath your shoulder. But yeah, they want it all the way down your arm because that's the way they're going to do it in PT. And then you take your other hand and you basically, while you're laying down, you start pulling your arm up. And you know, it's starting to work some of these tendons and muscles in here, but you're guiding it. You're not using those muscles. So it's in this case, it was my left hand moving it. And but it's one of those things where I'm not a doctor, but if I stopped every time it kind of felt like it was uncomfortable, I probably wouldn't be getting where I needed to go. So I get to that point and hold it for a second, give it a little bit more, and then come down. Just nice, easy stretches. And at the 10 or 15 rep, you start to see that you're getting, you know, further and further up, and you're getting that elbow to where it's not locked so much, and you're getting. It's going to be a while before I get like this, but I'm pretty much like this right now, and I would like to be able to get more, but I've only been doing that since Wednesday. You know, that's how far I am along, and I wish you the best. I'll try to put something else out here a little bit later if I can think of other things, particularly how I put my sling on. I use some of the methods that I saw online, so you can see some of the great videos already out there about putting the sling on and then spinning yourself around and getting that last piece that comes around your waist and hooks in. But if I can get someone to hold the phone and videotape it, I'll add that as well. So good luck. It's not the end of the world with the surgery. I don't know what it's going to be like when I get into strength training. I will tell you, I can't really get it up there. After 4 weeks, the atrophy in my forearm, there's not much there, even though there's a ball in there that's built into the sling for you to continue to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and I do that all the time. There's atrophy in there, and I think that's what the next several months is going to be, is just building up muscle strength again. So good luck with your surgery.